no turning back. Lily, not change the beat. Covers always judge books by today. If they are shiny or not. Every page inside is meaningful as always. But no one's gonna read them out again. Oh, please don't wait for me, darling. Stay out of the cold rain. For your heart may become rusty. Oh, please don't wait for me, darling. Stand there in the sea. Your soul is right now. You don't need to wait, need to wait, need to wait for us. Hey, Bo, would you like to share what you just said with the class?
I'm looking at trending on the sports trending on Twitter.
That is it.
And what's trending is the cum bucket, spelled with a K.
I have returned.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream.
Or should I say I have arrived?
Also, Asuka's trending, and honestly, so untrue.
Unfortunately, she's in the cum bucket.
No.
Excuse me?
What?
Okay, so is this setting better, worse, or about the same?
That
sounds a little bit
better.
more clear.
Bit better, yeah.
Actually, alright.
Actually, that works.
Seriously, we read Sir Gawain and the Green Knight in this college class in its old English form.
Cool.
You know what we're gonna be reading today? We're gonna be reading real fiction.
We're gonna be reading Umineko,
Exactly.
but before we start,
fiction.
I got a
Yes.
fucking question.
Not the
I'm
fake
fucking
real.
around in Source Filmmaker. I downloaded the Fortnite model of Master Chief and compared it to the Halo 2 anniversary. Why is Fortnite Chief so fucking big?
It's because the models are bigger in Fortnite.
Why
I
the
can't believe
fuck-
Kobeni totally doped down on the hot nasty sickness on power with her swag ass hoopty.
Why
what
are the
you
Fortnite
saying,
models?
Noir?
What the?
Why
What-
is the Chief
what
model
in the
so
goddamn-
big?
Noir, you're just saying words. Jesus Christ.
He does look
Literally, we're
huge.
just saying random words like cum bucket.
But like that still doesn't make sense because Halo 5 models in fucking Source Filmmaker are like around the same size as Halo 3 ODST models. So like,
Don't
why
you
are they
ever
so
talk to me
big?
and my son
Oh,
ever again.
by the way,
as
Orange.
Fortnite Halo holds up Halo 2.
We're on part 4 now.
We are.
You should probably change that title.
I did change it to part 4.
Oh,
Why do I have 1,000 channel points already?
why does it say part 3 for me? I'll
That's a
refresh.
very unfortunate abbreviation.
Because you're a dope lord and you know what's good.
It still says part 3.
That's fucking weird. I thought I changed it to part 4. Whatever.
Wait, no, it doesn't. count.
Can't believe we're on Umineko. Diamond is unbreakable already.
Damn.
Yeah,
Oh, now it's changed to part 4.
Currently, we're on day 2 of Orange Got Currency.
how's everybody going tonight? You doing alright?
Are we going?
Yeah, how you
Fingers
going?
are really hard to
Quesadilla.
position.
And your book
Where are we
was-
going?
We're
from
going
here?
places, that's for sure.
I have
Alright,
wanted for
then.
several war crimes in
That road,
Ethiopia.
seriously.
I don't
35
believe
night.
you've done any of those things. Why is my wallpaper fucking Elfelt with wearing a hot dog? Not Elfelt, it's Dizzy wearing a hot dog costume.
Who's Dizzy?
Wow.
Why?
Oh. Looks very upset though.
Who's Dizzy?
Dizzy from
Kai's
Guilty
wife.
Gear.
This is Guilty Gear.
The one who's 5 years old.
I just kinda like I have like thousands of wallpapers, I don't remember what any of them are.
Wallpapes.
Yeah.
Wall vapes.
Oh boy, more ammunition. But where
Wall
do you keep getting
crates.
these things?
What things?
The pennies
What?
you keep throwing at me.
I bought like $5 worth of pennies.
Oh Jesus. Anyway,
It's gonna be a long
Maybe it was
day.
7.
Pennies.
Maybe it was 700. I forget.
Bone, please don't buy extravagant amounts of pennies and make it rain on orange.
It's not that many. It's not that much money.
can you give Khan like 500,000 pennies so that she can get a good gaming computer? Or a half decent one?
Yeah, dude.
You know she won't take it.
5
If I-
grand? Really?
Joshy, why did
Wait,
you write
Chem-
"come" in the chat?
Wait.
I'm a moderator.
Kaneko.
I'm abusing moderator power.
Wait, Kaneko, can we force you to take our money?
I will still vehemently deny it and shove it back at you.
What if
Chem,
what if
we
we
wanna
what
help
if
you out.
somebody ran Mach speed
No, it's not that I want to
into
help
the-
her. I want to
to
help
the
us.
front door, knocked on your door, threw the PC at Mach speed?
What
I
if?
want to help
What
us
if?
by
Like,
giving her money.
what if? I'm just saying. What if I simply give you the PC and you use it for work? Deal?
I mean, do you have the money to give her a PC?
In this hypothetical scenario,
An hypothetical scenario.
I could chip in,
If
like.
there's no precedent for
In
it,
Well,
then
all
there's really
honesty,
no way to
Con,
act.
a laptop isn't that much. All we need is a laptop that you could just use.
Well, then again, you did delete that thing that was causing issues, didn't you? Done?
Doesn't feel right.
Hey, Orange, we're trying to ask Con something.
I know.
We can't hear anything.
We can't hear you when you can't hear anyone talking when you
Mute
sing!
Hey,
Welcome to the nightmare.
It just doesn't feel right when you guys go ahead and say that. It just doesn't feel right to me. It's weird.
John, trust us, we are being selfish when we say we want to give you money.
Hold on.
If I wanted people doing that, I'd just become a VTuber.
Sure, you have a good voice for a VTuber.
Yeah,
you
but like,
do.
You have a good voice for voice work in general.
Yeah, what do you, actually, I think I understand why you don't want to become a VTuber. Fucking,
Did she say it's because she wants to be like Peach Saliva? Oh wait, but
What?
she did it too.
What are you?
What?
What?
She wanted to be like Peach Saliva and be
No.
unbeatable.
Oh.
I thought she meant Peach Saliva was a VTuber.
I was like,
She
oh
is.
wait,
She
no, she
is.
actually
She
did become a
has
VTuber.
laptop that could probably take a microphone. It's like $129.
Wait, well, then again, like, you fixed your mic issue, I mean, not mic issue, computer issue, didn't you? You deleted that thing, right?
It's working perfectly fine with not a single error, isn't it?
what?
Did your computer have issues booting up today, basically?
No, it was just the usual level of slow.
Ah, because I thought, like, that Dell support whatever was, like, fucking with your computer.
The usual level of slow.
Time for me to keep an eye on
Why
chat.
did you write penis like 7, 8 times? 9 times?
That was someone else. They also said we should read Baki sometime, and I think we should take the
You need
recommendation.
to
I just-
shut your mouth.
I just
Okay,
realized my hair
Okay,
just
Ren
missed a
70,
pencil.
173.
So, I just noticed I was feeling a weight on my head. I was like, what is that? And I noticed that my hair
It's
just
No,
caught a
choose to
pencil.
come.
Also, Bone, I think that weight on your hand was my cock and balls got him.
No, it was a pencil.
Why are we on dicks today? I just wrote cum and we just spiraled out of control.
So, Bo, basically, it is AC's dick then.
Why did everything go
What
wrong
the
when I
fuck
started
are you
the
guys
madness?
talking about?
We don't know either.
Anyways, hey,
Alright,
we're...
everybody go to Horny Joe and start reading.
Anyways, is Umineko today sponsored by anyone?
By the cum bucket.
It's by the
No.
jail you're all gonna
Shut the
be put
Shut
into.
up! Oh my god.
I
To
have
be
a-
fair, the
I
cum
have a
bucket
joke.
is a nice family restaurant. Voiced by Plankton.
Kenzo, please start.
No, wait, no.
Wait, Josh, you wanted to say something?
I wanted to make this clear. We're about to, without explaining it, we're gonna hit some stuff, so I hope you're paying attention.
Yes, actually.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So this chapter is like 2 hours long for a very good reason. Please pay attention.
I can't promise anything, but I'll try.
Yes, Bones.
I have
we'll
been
try.
calling to you for some time now. Do not hear me.
One second. like I said.
She does not hear you. No.
Fucking
1
sad.
second. I do hear you.
Oh, it was a joke. It was a joke.
It was a laugh. A goof, if you will. Comedic.
Oh yeah. Also, this episode of Umineko no Naku Koroni was sponsored by Full Metal Alchemist.
Which version?
Full Metal Alchemist.
Wait, really? Damn.
Yes.
The
Sponsored
original
by
one, the
Activision.
manga, or the...
Oh fuck.
By one of them, we don't know which was one of
This
them.
episode of Umineko is sponsored by that gazebo in the background. Look.
Oh no, it's the Full Metal Alchemist live action movie.
Oh god, no, not that one.
No,
Oh no!
we don't
not
want that
really like
sponsorship.
I'd rather take the rap musical.
What? Anyways.
I was making a joke.
Hey, Con, are you ready?
One moment, I'm making a quick note.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Alright.
Fair enough.
Alright,
The
understandable.
notes begin.
Just something I noticed.
Oh?
Something you noted?
Beatrice said M and U. This has the deeper meanings of M and U.
What
No.
was the-
Beatrice is clearly from the Pacific continent of Mu.
No. None of that. I just noticed something else.
God damn it, Bone! Stop being nice to me!
Do you get like notifications when that happens?
Yes, I hear things every time you people do things. I especially have a seizure whenever I hear the following notification because it's Beatrice going every single goddamn time.
Oh,
Should
really?
I make some fucking notifications and emotes for the Twitch?
Yeah, sure if you want to.
I just need to. I need some. I'll probably
Also,
just
hey
look it up
Ramen,
later.
how you
but-
doing?
Yeah.
Hey, did we get emotes in the Twitch yet? I didn't
No,
know.
not
We
yet.
have exactly one, but I need to actually like make it first.
Which is the? It's
Will
an
probably
Umineko.
be Battler crying or something.
Oh, I thought it would be Beatrice.
God,
like,
we should
really
think
hard to buy a good video card these days.
whenever it
Not
comes,
even like a 1080.
we should probably make notes specific to cool scenes, like something we can post when a cool scene happens,
Okay,
or emotion scene.
I'm ready now.
You good? Okay.
Ugh. Were you? My apologies. I was lost in thought. Forgive me.
The weather is pleasant. Yes. I can understand how the weather has stolen your heart. Well, you have your black tea here.
Who am I?
I will bring some tea now. Wait here for a while.
Forget about the tea. Talk with me.
Very well. Kinzo would use the excuse of getting black tea to try to interrupt the conversation for the time being. But his attempt had been very transparent. Oh, you do.
I sat in the garden chair and beckoned Kinzo to do the same. Kinzo sat down heavily, exaggerating his age.
I'm sitting.
No, my pop filter popped off.
Yo, we popping off.
For a while, we sat and appreciated the silence. Who am I? Until today, no one has answered this question. For some reason, everyone averts their gaze and evades me.
No.
I have known you for a long time. I think of you as my best friend, even as a father.
Probably want to do her a little bit younger, actually.
I mean, she looks like she's probably around the same age.
That is why I want so much for you to tell me. You should know. who I am.
Why are you worried about something like that? You are Beatrice, the master of this mansion. Is that not so? What more could you want to know?
I do not know.
What's this? Don't you even understand what it is you want to know? How mysterious. In one's youth, there are times when one wants to play in the maze of thought that has no exit. Perhaps that's what your worries are.
Kinzo laughed as though it was a trivial matter. However, I couldn't help but feel that this behavior was another attempt to force me to stop any further questioning. So you won't tell me after...
There is nothing to tell. You are Beatrice. Isn't that more than enough?
No, that's not it. What I wish to know is not my name. It is who I am. Who am I? What am I? How long have I been here, and how long will I have to continue my days here?
I really should bring some black tea. Don't you think it is a waste of all this fine weather? What's this all about? Looks like it's probably the story of your past, right?
Something like that. Think I would go this far back.
Looks like you had some pretty deep worries even then. Wondering who you were.
That is to be expected. At the time, I was unable to understand who I was, or why I was alive.
Well, in puberty, everyone's captured by those philosophical worries at least once. Wondering what meaning there is in their life. Doesn't this just prove you had a charming period like that at one point?
I'd been in that mansion since the time of my birth. And I lived only inside the mansion. Of course, I went out into the garden, but the area around the mansion was surrounded by a very tall fence. I was unable to leave through it. And I was told severely that I mustn't leave. I could walk freely throughout the mansion and the garden. But outside of that, not once was my desire to take just one step outside of my own accord granted.
What do you mean by that? I'm gonna say that, as far back as you can remember, you were always a bird in a cage, despite all your rage.
That's what I thought at the time. After all, as soon as I became aware I was living like that, I didn't even think to question it.
Who in the world are you?
That's it. That is what I also hoped to know.
I'm sure you'll say something like, I wasn't a human, I was a witch, right?
No, that's not true. That isn't true yet. Or should I say that was once the case. I was constructed by Kinzo, a human built by a human. No, perhaps I should call it a cage made of flesh.
What the hell? This is getting weird.
You probably won't believe it anyway. But listen first. I was a mighty witch who had lived for 1,000 years. But at one point I was summoned by Kinzo. And by that hidden art, I was bound as his prisoner for eternity.
Never heard that before. Well, we here in the Ashurmia family, you were summoned by grandfather. Made something like a devil's contract with him and gave him the gold.
Indeed. That is correct. Then I was supposed to vanish until the contract was complete. But, well, popular women have it rough. By some turn of events, Kinzo fell in love with me.
Grandfather's nearsightedness must have gotten pretty bad. Astigmatism, too. Fall in love with you, of all things.
Well, to me, there could be nothing more bothersome. However, the power of humans is a frightening thing. He displayed that fearsome power and rooted me to this place. He said I wouldn't be freed until I nodded my head in agreement. Such an overbearing man.
Isn't that awesome? Everyone knew grandfather was obsessed with the occult. But who would have guessed he had the power to root down the great witch Beatrice? Ridiculous! Who'd believe such a weird story?
As I thought, you don't believe.
All I believe is in the fact that you lived in this hidden mansion in the middle of the forest. You are the 19th person on Rakenjima, right?
Indeed. Just as you imagined, this is deep within the forest of Rakenjima. A hidden mansion not to be found from the outside world. Its name is Kuandorian. 9 Birds Retreat.
Come to think of it, I heard the guest house's real name was Torian, Visitor's Retreat. I see. The naming sense is similar. So you were grandfather's mistress who lived here in secret. Isn't that right?
Mistress isn't the right way to say it. You should probably call it Kinzo's unrequited love. I spoke of it just now, correct? He fell in love with me of his own accord. He then courted me, but I rejected him. Then, I was shut up in this hidden mansion. No, that's not quite right. It would be more correct to say that I was shut up in this body.
I've got no idea what you said at the end there.
You will just make fun of it and refuse to listen, right? After all, you say you don't believe in witches or magic. If you have no ears to hear what I tell you, saying it would be the pinnacle of foolishness.
I'll decide whether I believe it or not. After all, if I don't ask, the story won't continue. Tell me. Let's hear this story from your past.
Very well. I refused Kinzo when he courted me, but he was not a man to lose heart at something like that. He wanted to make me nod my head in agreement, no matter what. He shut me up in this mansion and spent an eternity trying to win my heart.
Talk about overbearing. Guess no one likes obstinate men, huh?
Regardless of whether I responded to his courting or not. Having a man so desperate for me was, well, as a woman, it wasn't. However, I never accepted his proposal. I tried to find some way to break through his guard. But that barrier was firm and I couldn't crack it.
And then?
After trying to resist in various ways, I eventually reached the conclusion that to escape from Kinzo's barrier, I would have to throw away this body of flesh. The physical body is a vessel with many restrictions for a magic user.
Throw away your body of flesh? What does that mean? Something like an out of body experience?
Well, if you want to think of it that way. However, I am no spirit. Even though I am a witch, in the beginning I was born with a human's body of flesh. So for me, throwing away that physical body, while it didn't mean the same thing as death, it did require a similar level of resolve.
So in other words, you decided that you couldn't be released except by suicide. Is that it?
It wasn't suicide. It was nothing more than throwing away my body of flesh. Of course, becoming nothing more than a soul is a precarious situation. When the soul leaves the body of flesh, it is constantly exposed to the strong winds of the sun. It was not easy for me to maintain myself and avoid being scattered by them. Final measure that I wanted to avoid if I could.
Anna's writing notes. Please, just a moment.
Sorry, taking notes.
The soul is
That's fine.
affected by solar wind. That's a concept right there.
However, there was no other way to break through Kinzo's barrier. Anyway, I am an unfettered person. I couldn't stand being kept in a cage until Kinzo's life was over.
I couldn't see the stuff Beato kept going on about throwing away her body of flesh. It's anything more than suicide. Grandfather persistently courted her, and to escape from that, she chose her own death. So you're saying you committed suicide? What are you talking about? Isn't that you, sitting carefree in that garden chair?
That's right. That is the new cage I was given by Kinzo.
Cage? You mean this mansion?
No. I mean my body, relaxing in the garden chair over there. Even though I was so desperate to escape that I became naught but a soul, Kinzo still had no intention of letting me go. Oh, he was a fearsome person. Normally, when the object of one's unrequited love shows that she's willing to die, it should be enough to bring that person to their senses, even if their love has lasted 100 years. Perhaps that's why even he managed to become a sorcerer of sorts.
I'm trying to confuse me with that incomprehensible witch girl talk. What exactly are you trying to say?
That Kinzo didn't let me escape even after I became a soul. Human emotions are terrifying. To think he would be able to exhibit such power. Tying down a dead soul is not something that can be accomplished easily. Not even for a magician who specializes in such matters. Because I knew this, Kinzo's fearful magical power shocked me the first time. Then, Kinzo seized my soul and brought me back. However, a cage to hold a seized soul cannot be made from iron or lead. Only one thing remained.
What? You aren't gonna say it was a magical cage or something, are you?
Wrong. It's that body of flesh over there, just like yours or mine. Only a cage made of flesh and blood can tie a soul down to this world. Kinzo shut my soul up in a cage of flesh built to be exactly like me.
So to sum up, it's like this. Grandfather obstinately courted you. You started to hate it. He committed suicide. But you weren't clever enough to finish the job? Damn. It took a roundabout way to say something like that.
No, that's wrong. My soul was shut up in the seed of a homunculus. And I was born out of a test tube.
Huh? That's crazy! That isn't even possible, right?
Kinzo accomplished even the miracle of creating life. And simply to shut my soul up in that cage. That he would show such magical power simply because of his own love. A thoroughly terrifying person.
It's already gotten pretty ridiculous. Say whatever you want. I won't believe anything. Just do what you like.
Ugh. What's with this unpleasant attitude?
In the beginning, I showed a little interest, thinking that there might be some huge hint hidden in there. But the more I ask, the weirder the story starts to get. I get the feeling that even though this is supposed to be a game about denying witches, I'm suddenly being forced to just swallow this story about witches. Alright, but I don't feel like listening to this anymore. Just keep rambling on to yourself as much as you want. I'll be over here, picking at my earwax or something. When I started acting cold, Beato seemed unusually discouraged. Her expression was still shameless. But is that really a really easy to understand expression of hers? I had the feeling I was able to catch a glimpse of loneliness in my failure to find the story of her past interesting. For some reason, the subtle reaction made her seem pitiful. Even though I kept my careless attitude, I decided to cover for her slightly. Damn it. Even though she's an irritating witch, I'm still weak against her because her chromosomes are XX. Well, I've got absolutely no desire to believe you, but keep going. Let's have a bit of a story instead of a tea snack.
So you treat the story of my past like little more than a snack. I am the full goddamn meal, bitch. Do you expect me to just casually tell you when you insult me like that?
Yes. After I made fun of her, Beata reacted a little sensitively. It looked like, even though making fun of people was her specialty, she was horrible at being made fun of by others. Just then, my black teacup suddenly made a sound, surprising me.
Oh fuck, I didn't think I was needed for this entire thing!
Not you just cruising.
Take it
Milady.
away,
Whoa, Runaway, when did you get here? You're looking huge.
Thank you very much, Bellissima. Milady's soul was seized and breathed.
You're like
You
that
speak
fucking
the demon language.
You're like that fucking fish creature from SpongeBob. Lady soul seized and breathed into a cage of new life.
My soul was seized as a into a new cage of life.
Okay, you're gonna make me just keel over laughing. Okay, none of that.
None of that.
No,
Okay.
you're fucking with us!
Milady's soul was seized and breathed. Okay, is that breathed?
Breathed.
It's
Breathe. Okay. Breathe. Breathed.
Breathed.
My tongue twists when I do it. Okay.
Speeve.
Milady's soul was seized and breathed into a cage of new life. In other words, Milady received life as a human once more.
Before I realized that the demon butler had taken my cup and was adding more black tea to it.
Run away. Enough of that. This person just said it was too ridiculous to be worth listening to. Well, he's too ridiculous to be worth talking to, nevertheless, but...
I'm baking some new cookies right now. Until they are ready, I thought you might find the story of Milady's past to be a perfect substitute for a snack.
Didn't I say that's enough talking about me? Ugh, such unpleasant people, the lot of you. I'm leaving. Ugh. Run away, serve our food, and then go. No pointless chit-chat with Battler.
Certainly. I'll make an effort.
Make a better effort then.
If only I could.
He had a short temper peculiar to women, which I didn't really understand, took hold of her, and she turned her body into gold butterflies, scattered and disappeared. After that, only Ronave and the scent of black tea were left. Again, I feel bad. Like I pissed her off or something.
You don't say. As long as you are aware of it yourself, I need say nothing more.
Wait a sec. Were you the one who struck the finishing blow?
My. What could you mean by that? How could you lick... How would you lick your sugar?
How would you like some sugar and milk?
Try saying it slower. Maybe that would help.
It probably would help, my bee. Would you lick some sugar and milk?
Just milk would be fine. And some tea snacks would be nice too.
Well, it will be a bit longer before the cookies are ready.
Didn't you say we already got something to use in place of a snack?
Certainly. If you will listen quietly, I will continue the story.
You said something about a homunculus. I know a little bit about that. It's that thing, right? A manufactured human created with alchemy or something.
Yes. Milady's soul was shut up in a homunculus, and she was revived into this world, receiving life again as a baby. However, because she was a baby, any professions of love on Kinzo's part would have been quite useless.
You aren't saying the grandfather shut that baby up in this hidden mansion that grew to reach the same age she'd been?
Correct? That is what I'm saying. However,
Wait, what? Are you okay?
Con, you okay?
What happened? Oh, are you feeling sick?
Are you vomiting?
is it the story or are you actually ill?
Wait, did something happen?
It's a story, I think.
Yes!
Wait, what was said in the story? Because I had to look away for a second.
Kenzo made her into a homunculus baby.
And that's not as weird as gripping people's intestine out and shoving it full of candy.
Okay, grooming, is that what you said, Con?
Grooming!
Wait, can you
yeah.
show the transcript? Because I actually had to look away. I heard like a weird banging outside.
You didn't hear that?
No, like
Something about a
something-
homunculus. She was shut up in a homunculus and she was revived into this world of receiving life as a baby.
However, because she was a baby, any professions of love on Kinzo's part would have been quite useless.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm physically getting ill over this.
Okay, yeah, that was something I missed.
pedophiles, man.
What's the big
Oh,
deal?
God,
It's
that's
just a
worse
little bit of a
than that.
pedo. It's fine. It's
Wait,
fine.
it said that Kinzo could
Whoa!
not, right?
Whoa, I'm not back orange.
No. Shut the fuck up.
Wait, no, it
I'm
said that he
kidding.
could not.
Shut the fuck up,
I
man.
do not advocate for these things. Please don't blast me on Twitter.com.
Please don't clip him.
No, this is worse than this. This
Man,
is the purpose
Wait,
of-
wait,
no,
wait, wait, wait.
no,
Didn't it
shut
say?
the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
No.
Oh,
Didn't it say?
what?
Didn't it say that he could not love her because of that?
No, this means Kinzo fucked someone else, made a test tube baby, let it grow, and then just killed that baby's artificial soul and put Beatrice in there. And he just looked at this kid as it was growing up and just.
Is that what it's saying?
Yes.
Oh,
No,
Should
I
we,
meant-
let us, like, let's continue
Basically,
going.
it was that bullshit with Jacob
Well,
and
like-
that baby
like-
from Twilight.
Okay, like, I'll be 100% with you. There's still more to the scene. Perhaps we should still keep going.
that's totally fair. Just
There's
the
also
implication.
Yeah, like I don't think that's what they were saying.
Progressing through it will help it be less
perhaps
painful.
consider the possibility of it not being completely literal. Who knows?
Anyway. I will start it however, because I kind of lost where I last read.
I think that she sounds fine, Robot. Maybe turn her up.
However, well, her soul was the same.
Nearby because this is kind of making me physically ill to think about that.
I think that you got the
All
wrong
the
idea.
better reason to not dwell on it.
Word, let's keep going.
However, well, her soul was the same. A human spirit is strongly influenced by its container. My lady lost all her memories of the past and grew up as a very normal human girl.
You're saying that this Beato is sitting in the garden chair?
Yes,
Yes.
that is correct. It grew to be completely identical. However, it did not possess her power as a witch.
AC, I'm stealing your joke. Kinzo now accepts new position at Activision Blizzard.
Wait, there are no pedophiles in that, right?
I mean,
that we know of.
I'm now imagining Kinzo like sitting at standing at a breastfeeding stand, and someone yelling at him to leave.
Oh yeah, there was that incident.
I just want to watch.
That was the thing, actually.
No. Wait.
Oh my god.
Boy, this is where we fucking hot and bothered,
Okay. You already said the line. You said the line, right, Joshy?
I did not. I didn't finish it. Let me reread it because I forgot. Okay. Yes. That is correct. It grew to be completely identical. However, it did not possess her power as a witch. Milady was completely human.
Beata, who was sitting in the garden chair, looking up at the sky, voiced that same question again. She asked who she was. The meaning of those words were finally starting to click. She couldn't understand why she was living here, all locked up. Grandfather had seized Beatrice's soul, shut it up in a body of flesh, and then shut that up in a hidden mansion. Ever since she had lived here, since the time of her birth, she couldn't even understand who she was, or why she lived shut up in there. Wait. Who would take such a stupid story seriously? Why don't I change my interpretation? In other words, couldn't it be something like this? Grandfather met Beatrice. He then fell in love with her and courted her, but she didn't accept him. Then he flew into a rage and shut her up inside the hidden mansion. Beatrice had to escape, but no matter what she did, she couldn't succeed. So she finally chose her own death. And then... no. Maybe there was a girl who looked just like Beatrice. No. A baby. Grandfather raised this child with care. Maybe he didn't view this child as his daughter. The soul was once again shut up in a cage of flesh. Those words probably meant that he didn't view this kid as her child, but as her reincarnation. Maybe that's what he meant. If you interpret it that way, even a story this weird might make a little sense. No. Might be some bullshit Beto cooked up to confuse me. And as if I could accept any of this! In the first place, who a Dorian was it? There's no proof whatsoever that a hidden mansion actually existed. Couldn't this be something she just fabricated on the spot?
All hidden mansions called Kudorian doesn't. A hidden mansion called Kudorian does exist in the forest of Okimjima.
Kuadorian, not Kudorian.
Kudorian.
So,
sir.
Wait, this guy so only witches could do the red stuff.
No,
he can speak.
No?
He's a demon.
To give you the simplest interpretation is that he is speaking on behalf of Beatrice in this part of the game.
Okay.
That is the place where we were just talking about.
Huh? Red? One of these, the red to say that Kuadorian actually existed.
There you go.
Does that mean that the same thing as the red is? Does this mean the same thing as the red that Beato uses?
I need not to
Well,
look at
class, what do you
Explain
think?
it to me.
What do you
what?
think, everyone?
Wait, what do we think of what?
I don't know, the red.
I mean, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I don't see why you couldn't use it.
You're the
I
demon.
mean, I was more so saying that in regards to asking a question that gets answered 2 seconds later.
That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we overshot it, didn't we?
Is that something?
Bone, you gotta pay attention more.
I try. I physically.
How can he pay attention to the thing that would happen in the future? Like, what kind of shit would you have to do to get that?
Look, the choices in the past, the choices in the future impact the past. That's how it works.
There are no such thing as coincidence.
Future!
Like, straight up, nothing could happen in my peripheral vision. I would still look at it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
My God, we're getting derailed so hard.
Phrasing! Does phrasing no longer exist?
Moving
in
right
London?
along.
I don't care anymore.
Continuing.
You're the only one that thought it needed phrasing.
I may not look it, but I am a demon. Please keep this a secret from Milady, yes?
Sure.
Good boy.
Beato, who knew I would try to trip her up, had grown extremely cautious when using red. I think that Ronove could also use the red. However, it was the red of a crafty man. I didn't know how far I could accept it. But anyway, I might be able to get some kind of hint out of it. So, that Beato relaxing in the garden of Kuadorian, and the conversation she had with grandfather, were the truth?
Yes. It is the truth. The past. The pair actually had a conversation like that in this place.
Thanks a lot! I'll ask for some more red. Said she was born from a homunculus. But does that kind of unscientific magical mumbo-jumbo thing actually exist?
I am unable to answer that question. After all, doing so would cause a stalemate.
A stalemate? What does that mean?
It's a chess term referring to a state in which, similar to a perpetual check, any further progression in the game becomes impossible. This would be the opposite of an endless repetition of moves. Because all moves would disappear, and it would bring about a new kind of deadlock, if you will. In chess, this would lead to a draw, just as a perpetual check would. However, there can be no draws in this game between you and Milady. Therefore, I am unable to answer a question that would bring us about a stalemate.
You obviously want to confuse me by saying incomprehensible stuff. But simply put, you're trying to dodge the question. Because you can't use the red to say that something magical like a homunculus exists, right?
If I were to say it in red that a witch exists, that would What would you do, Battler-sama?
Whether or not I believe that is what our whole fight's about, right? I was told that point blank, it'd be game over.
If I said a witch exists in red, you would have no room for argument. However, since the reason would never have been made clear to you, Battler-sama, you would probably wouldn't accept it. However, after being told that in red, you would have no room for argument. It would not have been shown any proof. In this situation, even though you wouldn't be able to admit defeat, you would have no way to make counter-argument, and it would become a deadlock. Even though checkmate would not have been reached, there would be no existing moves left. Since you would not be able to play your next hand, it would never become Milady's turn. And the game would stop there for all eternity. As a result, Milady would probably be unable to force you to submit. There would be a deadlock situation. In order to avoid that, I am unable to answer questions of this nature in red.
So, to say it quickly, you're saying point-blank questions are prohibited. Well, that's true, I guess. If I were told a witch exists, I'd have to give up from the start.
I am pleased that you understand. I believe we might be able to work together if you ask your question in a different form.
I remember what that line Beatrice dodged when I told her to repeat it. About the number of people on the island.
If Milady held back on repeating it, then of course I cannot respond. As Milady's furniture, I am unable to be too full.
Brunner made an exaggerated gesture, trying to act like a loyal retainer. This guy's so shameless. Heh. That's what I thought, just when I thought you might actually be useful. I'll give up on that search for a different question. Search for a different question. That's right. I was forgetting to check something important. This is a story about Beato's memories, right? When did it happen? It couldn't possibly be happening right now, right?
Correct. This is the world of 1967. The world of 19 years previously.
Let's try rearranging the story again. I wonder if it couldn't be something like this. Grandfather fell in unrequited love with a person called Beatrice. Then he confined her in this hidden mansion and continued to court her. But she was stubborn and didn't give in. Eventually she grew pessimistic about being able to escape from here. And probably committed suicide. And then her soul was put in an homunculus and... No, if I accept that, it's the same as accepting the witch. I can interpret that part like this. He probably had a posthumous daughter.
Posthumous.
Posthumous.
Oh,
Grandfather
that's
must
how
have
you
believed
say
that
it.
her soul had been placed in a new physical body. And I thought that this child was the reincarnation of Beatrice. That means at least 19 years ago, Beato existed on this island as the 19th person. I'm starting to get confused. Either way, we can't do more than speculate. The only thing we can say for sure in red. In 1967, in a hidden mansion on Rokenjima, Beatrice existed as a human. That is all.
That is correct. In 1967, in a hidden mansion on Rokenjima, Beatrice-sama existed as a human.
Thank you. That really helps.
Congratulations. With this, you have made clear the existence of the piece known as the 19th person. An 19th human for you to blame, just as you longed for. A sacrificial sheep upon which you can shift the blame of any crimes. How amusing that it happens to be Milady.
Runaway laughed indiscreetly. Somehow I didn't like how he put that, so I didn't feel like laughing along with him. That's right. There's a thing Aunt Rosa said. Beatrice is dead? I killed her? What did that mean?
As for that, it may be faster to see the actual circumstances rather than listen to me tell you. Let us advance the clock a little more.
Runaway pulled a stylish pocket watch from his pocket and touched the watch stem. As he did, I saw gold butterflies gather behind his back and take the form of a person. Was it Beato? I quickly realized that it was someone else.
Oh shit, double duty!
It was her. That oldest sister of the Seven Stakes. Who loved tormenting me more than her 3 meals any day. If I don't consider myself lucky to see that sexy ass, I won't be able to keep up with their torture game.
Runaway-sama! So, you're still here? This is an urgent call from Beatrice-sama! My. What kind of urgent business could it be? It seems my chat with Batler-sama has run a tad long. Well then, Batler-sama, if you'll excuse me. Please continue to enjoy your game with Milady.
Yeah. I'll enjoy it as best I can. My conversations go a lot more smoothly when they're with you as opposed to her. And you're more gracious with the red, too. Come and talk again anytime you like.
Batler-sama. Despite how I look, I am Milady's furniture. I could do nothing that Milady does not desire. What I say in the red was something that normally should have come from Milady's mouth. I did nothing more than announce the red truth in Milady's place as she skulked.
So she really was sulking then. Seeing me and Runaway incomprehensibly hitting it off, that steak Nichan cocked her head curiously. Nei-chan cocked her head curiously.
There you go.
Runaway-sama! You're keeping Beatrice-sama waiting! Let's hurry! Yes, I shall go immediately. Well, Batler-sama, I will see you later. It appears that we've finally started getting along. As I thought, I have the feelings we'll manage to become good friends.
Sure, if it means partners, if you mean partners at gossiping behind Beato's back.
Runaway-sama! Yes. If you'll excuse me.
Maybe she didn't like seeing him act so friendly with me. Maybe she really had been told to hurry. When the steak Nei-chan let out a thunderous cry, Runaway laughed frivolously and disappeared, as if running away.
Why am I, the oldest sister of the Seven Stakes of Purgatory, being summoned for menial tasks like this? Even though Beato-sama could have told one of the younger sisters, who look like they've got nothing better to do, Sheesh.
Why so grumpy? Why so grumpy, Nei-chan? If you're hungry, eat a cookie or something. Why don't I give you the last one?
How thoughtful! Then I shall take one.
I casually pushed the snack plate with the last remaining cookie over to her.
Thank you.
Damn!
Though coming as a period at the end of a sentence, a sharp sound pierced the table. And as if 3 of her fingers extended, grew sharp, and pierced the space between my fingers on the hand that was pushing the plate, missing them by a hair's breadth. It happened in an instant, though for a while I didn't even realize that her fingernails had grown. The tips of those sharp nails were like blades with a red manicure. The spaces between the bases of my fingers hurt sharply. Those razor-like blades had been plunged into the table as a hair's breadth away from the back of my hand and my fingers. Because of those 3 blades, I wasn't able to even let my careless right hand tremble. And by now, all I could do was let a bead of cold sweat drip down. Whoa! Nei-chan, isn't it about time you cut your nails?
It's Lucifer. That is my glorious name. The honored furniture who serves Beatrice-sama, and the oldest sister of the 7 stakes of purgatory. I'm not like my disgraceful younger sisters. If you don't show proper respect, you will regret it.
And why would I regret it exactly? Can't really think of a reason.
Stupid kid. Do you really want to play with me that much? Was it that unforgettable? I'll thrust my stake deep, deep into you and let you enjoy being gouged to the fullest, okay?
Ah, damn it. Someday I'll have you down on the floor and say the same thing.
Oh, really? Wow, I can't wait. I didn't know what to do with that. Can I be honest? When I was Lucifer, I kept kind of vaulting to my rotave a bit.
Yeah,
Except while you're pitched.
Also, does this count as pegging?
Kind of.
Didn't.
Maybe one stabbing.
It's staking.
Rosa eventually calmed down. The men wanted to hurry her into talking faster, but Kyrie intervened. Something like that really had happened, and it would have been a terrible experience that Rosa wouldn't want to remember. Taking several deep breaths with her hands over her chest, it seemed that she had more or less resolved herself to talk.
How old was I then, I wonder? Middle school, probably, though I don't remember well. Anyway, I think I was about that age.
Which means maybe about 20 years ago.
Back then, my grades weren't very good, and Mother was always angry at me. I tried to do my best in my own way, but I couldn't match up to Mother's expectations at all.
Mother was always very strict with Rosa. I sympathized with her at the time.
You say that, even though you were always talking behind her back.
Will you give it a rest, Eva? And then... Where did you meet Beatrice, Rosa-san?
Hideyoshi-san, you mustn't rush her now. It's okay, Rosa. Tell us at your own pace. Thank you. It was a day I'd been harshly scolded by Mother. Even though my tutor had promised to keep it a secret. Apparently, they told Mother all about how I had complained. Mother scolded me brutally, saying my name was a disgrace to the Ashiramiya family. Of course, I was doing the best I could. but I had none of Cross Nissan's dignity. I couldn't get excellent grades like Ava Nissan. And I had no leadership abilities like Rudolf Nissan.
Yeah, fuck.
I never stood out, didn't particularly excel at anything. And I found myself asking why I'd even been born into the Ushiramiya family. I began to question more and more why I'd even been born at all. This is what happened on the day I experienced my mind going blank for the first time. For the first time in my life, I realized that in addition to facing or surrendering to my problems, I had the third choice of running away. Though I say run away, there's no way I could have left Rakenzima and gone somewhere else. But anyway, I wanted to run away from the mansion and my own self at that time. In a way, it was like a kid running away from home, or maybe a passive sort of suicide. I wanted to disappear. Or maybe it was that childlike form of resistance where I tried to make my parents worry by disappearing. I childishly thought that if I went into the center of the forest, escaped from the Ushiramiya house, and maybe became lost, then I'd make them worry and teach them a lesson. And then, you went into the forest that you were told never to enter. Yes. After reaching the beach, I followed alongside the ocean. I didn't have any particular reason, but I felt that if I went around to the opposite side of the island, there might be a place there that no one knew about, which might become a hidden house just for me.
If you go around by the beach, that'd be impossible. It becomes a cliff part way, right? There's no way you could pass that way.
Of course. So I kept going wherever I could, which kept taking me deeper and deeper inland. It's a horrible forest without any paths, but that was comforting to me that if I could make it through such a dangerous forest, then I'd be that much further away from the Ushiramiya family. How shameful. If you were scolded because of your grades, all you had to do was work harder.
You mustn't say that. Doesn't Rosa have her talent as a designer instead?
Literally speaking, he was covering for Rosa. But everyone knew that Rosa's company hadn't been profitable.
Quit it. There's no time for sarcasm. So you managed to end up there by coincidence. At Beatrice's hidden mansion.
Rosa nodded weakly.
About how far? About how far did you walk?
Oh.
Could you show it to us on a map? Nasui-san, do you have a map of this island?
No, there isn't one here now. It wouldn't help. I was just walking randomly. Even if you gave me a map, I wouldn't know. And 20 years have passed since then. I probably couldn't reach it again even if I went into the forest.
Several people let out dejected sighs. It was vividly clear that in their haste, they'd thought that some hint related to the witch's epitaph. Maybe even the gold itself might be resting there.
On Kenjima, only the land around the mansion is ready to be developed on. The rest is completely uncultivated. It'd probably take a lot of work to survey the entire island.
But just knowing that it actually exists is helpful. It would take some money, but if we enlisted an aerial photography company to investigate, or ask the businessman who constructed this mansion about what happened at the time, we could probably find some way to search for it. That's right. At least we have more options now as opposed to when we weren't sure it existed.
Indeed. Maybe worth investigating right away.
The siblings will do that investigation together. We want our own farm.
It wasn't yet certain if the gold was hidden in that secret mansion. The sparks seemed to have started flying between Kraus and Ava already.
Give it a rest for now, you two. Rosa, please continue.
Yes.
Blindly. Oh, this is Rosa doing the narration if you want.
Blindly, randomly, I kept running on and on. Suddenly, I came across something I thought was an animal trail. I was very tired and had no idea how far I'd walked. I was very tired and had no idea how far I'd walked, so at that time I naturally took the easiest path. Ah. As I did, suddenly, right before my eyes, a very, very tall fence appeared. It was a fence wonderfully adorned in a Gothic style. For an instant, I thought I'd gotten turned around and returned to the original mansion. Of course, there were fences around the mansion to stop us from entering the forest. But this fence was decorated differently, and moreover, it was very tall. It probably reached a full 2 stories up.
It was covered with ivy and created a mysterious, solemn atmosphere. Oh, it's just Lydia.
It's still me.
At the time, I believed in the legend of the Witch of the Forest, Beatrice. I had been told that she was frightening. But some of the servants told me that she'd sometimes help you if you respected her. Since I had little confidence in those days, I believed the only way I could be saved was by receiving her help. That's why I thought what I did. I believed that this was the fence of the mansion belonging to Beatrice, the Witch of the Forest. I thought that if I could meet with Beatrice, she'd definitely save me. So I decided to try going in. But the fence was very, very tall, and it didn't look like I'd be able to go over it. So I chose to walk around it. I thought that if I did, I'd eventually reach a gate. But that wasn't that easy. The fence had an incredible length to match its incredible height, and no matter how far I went, I didn't reach a corner. It might have encircled a massive area. Or maybe I just had that impression because my child's legs made it difficult to walk in the forest. Anyway, I couldn't find a gate for a while. And I started to feel sad, as though the witch had rejected me. As I did, I eventually came upon a large tree whose twisted root had bent the fence. It might get my clothes dirty, but if I crawled, it looked like I'd be able to sneak in. And there you found the hidden mansion? I don't know if it was the hidden mansion we've been talking about. Still, at the very least, it wasn't a place that we know of. It wasn't as though I came out into a garden. It wasn't as though I came out into a garden as soon as I passed the fence. I had to continue through a lot more uncultivated forest after that. As I did, the forest suddenly opened up. And what appeared there was an unbelievably fantastical scene. To think that on Rokenjima, where I thought only we lived, there could be such a wonderful mansion to hide away. A beautiful flower garden spanned the front of the mansion. It was a flower garden of a completely different design from the rose garden we know so well, and it was very lovely. Of course, the mansion was also wonderful. It was a couple sizes smaller than ours. But it was still elegant and adorable at the same time. Then, I saw her figure. I saw her sitting in a chair, positioned to give a view of the flower garden, wearing an elegant dress. It was that black dress embroidered in gold that we would later know from that portrait. I hadn't seen an elegant dress like that except in fairy tales and on the stage of musicals. For a person to be wearing it as her normal clothes, that in itself seemed quite fantastical. That mysterious scene was enough to make me lose my sense of reality. If someone had told me then that it was a dream, I might have nodded obediently and waited to wake up in my bed. I had forgotten to hide myself in my shock, so she eventually spotted me. At first, her expression was quite listless. But when she noticed me, her eyes opened very wide. It was only natural, considering that I guess she didn't know it suddenly appeared. I lowered my head automatically, planning to greet her and apologize for entering without permission. Who are you? The new gardener? Those were the first words she said to me. I grew slightly calmer, because I realized we could talk to each other. Because I hadn't been turned into a frog just by meeting her eyes, like a terrifying witch in a fairy tale. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have entered the garden without permission. Who are you? Name yourself.
I am Ushiramiya Rosa.
Ushiramiya.
I'd recommend going a little higher pitch for Beto in this scene. Just a little.
One of Kinzo's family.
Huh? Well, it's also younger Rosa, so...
No, for Beto.
For Beto and Rosa.
Technically, you're right on
it's
both
passed.
accounts.
Yeah.
This is apparently a significant younger Beto, I guess?
Keep
Is that what
keep in mind this is the part that takes place in 1967.
He said it in red, you know.
Rikushi is very lazy with the sprite work sometimes.
Am I wrong?
No, do I change my voices, or?
I mean, it's just apparently a younger Beto, so I guess it's a higher pitch. I guess this is teenage Beto? I guess.
Just do your regular voice.
Teen Gohan.
You okay there?
Taking a minor note.
Alright.
Is it really okay if I swap it, or what should I?
Whatever you think is best.
Whatever you think is best.
Do what you want.
Follow your heart.
Hold on. Yeah, no, just... Imagine a more innocent-sounding Beato. Like, she isn't ready to fucking kill somebody all the time.
They're not ready to yet make Rosa cannibalize her younger sisters.
If you can't figure it out, it's fine. Just do the Beatrice voice you've been doing. If not, it's fine. Just keep going.
Cannibalize her younger sister, huh?
No, cannibalize her family.
Her daughter included.
Oh yeah, her daughter too.
Delicious candied Maria.
Okay. Just needed a drink of water.
Huh? Yes. I'm Kinzo's daughter. Good afternoon. I was a little surprised. After all, Father was a great man, feared by everyone. And yet she had spoken of him without using honorifics. So I was immediately terrified of her. After all, if she could refer to my fearsome father that way, she must be a witch with incredible power. After staring at me curiously, she beckoned me to come over. Frightened as I was, I obeyed. After all, I thought she might really turn me into a frog. The closer I got, the stronger that fear became. After all, as I kept saying over and over, That woman in her dress and the flower garden and the mansion. That whole picture was so fantastical and beautiful that it seemed separate from reality. It probably wouldn't have surprised me at all to learn that she really was a witch. And I really was lucky. She hadn't turned me into a frog. As I awkwardly stood there, stock still, she motioned to an open chair and urged me to sit down.
One moment.
Zaz, get your screenshot.
Have a seat. Welcoming and speaking to those who visit this garden for the first time is my sole pleasure. Of course, I have no pleasures other than that. As she said this, she let an unhappy smile show for just an instant. Because I was full of a strange mix of tension and excitement, I rudely asked her a question all of a sudden. Are you the witch of the forest? Beatrice? Indeed. I am Beatrice.
As I thought. Beatrice actually existed. Did she really look like the portrait?
Yes. Really, just like the portrait.
So, she wasn't just a witch from father's imagination.
Well, what did you talk with her about? And as she prepared some tea, she asked me all kinds of things about myself. First, she was surprised that I'd come through the forest. She believed that many dangerous wolves lived outside the fence. So when I told her I'd come through the forest to reach this place, she was shocked. She asked how I managed to escape from the wolves. Did I give them a biscuit and they let me go? Or did I cover myself in a magic cloak? And that kind of thing.
Connie, you sound very muffled right now. You away from your mic or something?
I'm actually really close up to my mic.
Alright, there we go. It just got infinitely better. Please continue.
Okay, thank you.
That sure sounds like a witch. What an interesting person.
Quite, dear. This goes way back. But didn't Father threaten us, saying we should never get near the forest because of the wolves that live there?
Yes, he did say something of the sort. Ridiculous. Even though Japanese wolves went extinct long ago. Truly a trick to fool children. I don't remember, though. Did Dad really tell us something like that? It was the Witch of the Forest, right? I don't think I've ever heard about wolves.
This was when you were still in elementary school. Don't you remember? Back then, you actually said you thought it'd be cool to try petting the wolves. Father immediately gave up the wolf story and changed it to the story about the witch. Seriously, what transparent lies they were.
Hmm. At the time, the witch story had a much more immediate effect on you, Rudolph, than the wolves. I remember it well. Don't you remember those nights when you clung to my back?
I see. So even Rudolph's son used to be that cute.
Shut up. I was just a kid.
Well, at any rate, if Father's the one who shut Beatrice up in there, it makes sense that he'd use the same story about wolves. To him, the vast forest of Rakenjima was a wall that shouldn't be crossed, dividing his two incompatible worlds. The Yoshiramiya family and his mistress's mansion.
Considering the height of that fence, it does sound as though Father turned that whole area, garden and all, into a giant jail cell. Just like a border dividing his two separate worlds.
Wolves aside, could there have been some breed of stray dogs there at the time? Perhaps the fence was there to protect against those. There aren't any wolves or stray dogs on Rakenjima. Unless you count my brothers. That fence was probably a border between us and Beatrice.
But if she innocently believed the story about the wolves, that's pretty naive. That's nothing like what I expect a witch to do.
You're right. Ugh. I sense that too. She was very pompous, just like my image of a witch. Damn it! Damn it! Boom! That is way better than what I could have said. Fuck!
You want to say it anyway?
No, the moment's passed.
I mean, we've already acknowledged it.
Yeah, the moment's passed.
Yeah, I expected Khan to say no dogs except the bitch I'm looking at to Natsui.
Oh, gee.
So much better.
How
Okay,
could you
move
say
on.
that about Natsui? How fucking dare
Do you not think Ava would say that?
Fair.
She would, then in my mind they would start kissing.
You know what? That's a good scene. I like that. Thank you for putting that in my
What
head.
are you people talking about?
Moving right along.
Witness. But she was somehow very childish. She was, how should I put it, too straightforward. She gave me the impression that she didn't know anything about the world. It was as though she'd come from some fairy tale land. She really was a strange person.
What happened after that? Did you end up talking about Dad at all?
Yes. Once every few days, usually on an arranged day, but sometimes suddenly, Father would casually appear and they'd drink together, or else take a walk together, or something. She said she just happened to be alone on the day I visited.
I see. An obvious mistress, you might say. My. I don't know how much younger she was, but good for Father.
Bruh. We can be sure this was no indecent relationship. Idiot, there's no way a lover's meeting between a man and a woman wouldn't have some sensuality. What happened next? What did you talk about after that? I'd already introduced myself, so I asked about her. When I did, the atmosphere quickly grew depressing. How should I put it? She seemed to grow listless and lonely. It was that same expression I saw on her face in the beginning.
Well, she was his hidden mistress after all. If she just walked around wherever she liked, Mom might have found her. I bet she was practically under house arrest. Even though she had beautiful clothes, beautiful mansion, and a garden, she must have felt pretty cramped. I bet she had it rough. And then?
I was definitely worried about something. I remember feeling really sad myself. When I realized it wasn't something I could do anything about by talking to her. She seemed to forget I was even there. She gazed vaguely off into the distance, was silent for a long, long time. I thought I must have said something wrong. But it didn't seem to be the type of atmosphere where I could apologize. So I remained silent too for a long, long time until she remembered I was there. And then she muttered unexpectedly. Are there really no wolves beyond the fence? Huh? Yes, that's right. I've never seen wolves, not even in a zoo. What is a zoo? Ah, it's a place where they keep all kinds of animals. They're full of rare animals like elephants and giraffes and pandas. Oh. So, there aren't any wolves in a zoo? And then, it might not be so scary. Even if there were wolves, all of the animals are put in cages, so it's safe. That's why you can safely look at them and learn about them. The mighty witch of the forest was apparently terrified of wolves. I remember it looked pretty funny to me at the time. Ugh. How am I any different? Huh? She didn't know about zoos. I know.
Huh.
I explained how fun zoos could be. But it was very difficult for a person like her who had never visited one to understand. On the contrary, as I explained it to her, her expression grew increasingly dismal. She couldn't see the difference. Apparently, even though she lived in an elegant mansion that was surrounded by a high fence and seemed to lack for nothing, she couldn't see how she was any different from animals shut up in cages. Everyone calls me Beatrice. And that does indeed seem to be the name of a great witch, as you say. But that isn't me. If I cannot use my magic...
No, she just says, I can't.
I cannot use any magic. I simply have the soul of that witch sealed inside my body. Huh? There was definitely something odd about her. Beyond just being cut off from the world. It seemed like she truly believed that magic existed. I think she talked about lots of weird things, but I don't remember the details. All I thought was that this might be a person to be pitied. She was unable to leave this mansion of her own free will, a prisoner without even realizing it. And she didn't know anything about the outside world, didn't even understand who she was. She probably vaguely realized that she was to be pitied. But since she didn't know anything, she seemed incapable of recognizing her own unhappiness. Long ago, when I told Nae-san that I felt sorry for a bird in a cage, she said this. A bird that only knows about the inside of the cage doesn't long for the outside. But this wasn't a bird. She really was a person. Even if she'd never been outside the cage, she understood that there was more to the world. So, I invited her. Do you want to try going outside the fence? There really aren't any wolves? There aren't. You'll definitely be safe. I want to leave. But the gate is always closed. There's the place I came in through. It's got a crack and you can slip through. If we go through there, will there be outside?
One second, sorry.
Fine.
That is very cute art, Obito. I really like it.
So true.
Yeah. This is one of the many reasons why I love the PlayStation 3 version, is for the CGs like this
Also,
and many
if
more.
you missed it in this song, and you know the song slaps as much as it does, called Far. Don't look it up though. We'll get it for you if you want to listen to it.
Sorry, my mom wanted me to turn the AC down.
Understandable.
By the way, you're fine, I see.
What? No.
Wait, what did AC say?
No, she said... That's the pun. The pun that made me form this name.
What was that one fucking meme from forever ago of like, this smile, I will protect this.
Yeah, I want to protect
smile
that.
I will protect.
I feel like she's not gonna be smiling at some point in the future.
What do you mean? Beato's always smiling.
I don't know. I got a bad feeling.
Yes. There really aren't any wolves?
Right, there aren't any.
I'd only planned on inviting her to go on a short walk. But she kept looking over her shoulder at the mansion as though she was seriously worrying over the decision. Then I learned what she was preparing herself for. I have had enough of this place. I want to go outside. And I want to know who I am, what's happening in this world, and why I was born. I didn't know what her life had been like before that. It was probably something she couldn't express easily. If it was harsh, she just had to say she wanted to escape. If it was sweet, she just had to say she'd stay. For example, maybe it was like how a hot fireplace on a winter day makes the air get thicker and thicker, giving you a headache. Even though you know you shouldn't keep things the way they are, you still need courage to open the window and be tormented by the cold wind. She was starting to realize that she couldn't stay there forever. She was starting to realize that she had to go outside someday. But since she didn't know about the outside world, she must have needed courage to take that unspeakable first step outside. And despite that, she had made her decision. She'd voiced her decision to go outside. A decision she was probably making for the first time in her life. I hesitated for a moment. Father had decided that she would live here. She was like Father's beloved bird in a cage. If I just let her escape, Father might scold me harshly. I want to see. See what? I want to see a zoo. I was just a little surprised when she finally gave me a gentle smile. Could that have been a far-sightedness brought about by her decision to venture out from her cage? It was a smile so gentle, I couldn't imagine that it had come from that once dark face. When I speak with you, I keep hearing about things I don't know. I don't even know about this thing called ghoul, nor do I know about zoos. I don't know about movie theaters. I don't know about amusement parks. And I feel, from the bottom of my heart, that I want to know about those things. Will you take me to see them? Huh? Yes. I was nervous about how I could keep it a secret from Father. but her face looked so happy. So I went along with her and nodded. But she seemed to notice the meaning behind my vague smile. She seemed to believe that I'd really take her to all those places. She was pure and genuine. She'd probably never been tricked by anyone. No. Maybe it's better to say that she'd never learned how to doubt. Her smile was somehow radiant, and yet pathetic. I wanted to find a way to grant her modest wish. I have had enough, Beatrice. I want to know who I am. I want to start out as a new human, not Beatrice. So, I want you to take me away from here. I don't need tea anymore. I don't need this dress. I won't meet with Kinzo again. Please take me from here. Rosa. However, that responsibility was one that a child like me couldn't hope to fully bear. Still, when I saw her serious gaze, along with that brilliant smile that made it look as though she possessing spirit had left her, I could feel a little courage start to rise up inside me. This was definitely something that would get me into a lot of trouble. And yet, it was definitely the right thing to do. I'll take her out, but I'll take her away from here. Of course I won't be able to talk to Father, and not Mother either. Should I talk to Onisama or Onesama? No. What about that reliable Genji-san? Well, that's right, what about Kumasawa-san, to whom I can always talk when I'm in trouble? I'm sure they'll be able to do something. Anyway, for now I'll take her out of here. This was already a place she didn't want to be. So, I took her to the crack in the fence and let her outside. She was all nervous, checking to make sure there were no wolves around. But once that fear disappeared, even just walking around this dense forest seemed to be fun somehow. Every time she found something, she'd ask me about it. And they were all really trivial things. What's that flower? What's that leaf? And that sound? And that smell? It really was like the inside of that fence had been her entire world. So, now that she'd traveled beyond the limits of her world, it's strange. When I first saw her, I really thought she was the witch herself, relaxing inside the witch's mansion. But now, it was different. Or actually, the complete opposite. She'd left a world she believed to be finite and was overjoyed at the realization that the world was endless. Something she'd never thought of before. So everything she saw was new. It was almost as though she was the one who had been thrown into a fairy tale. If she was Alice, I almost felt like a rabbit holding a watch. To her, it was probably a really fun walk, filled to the brim with excitement. But I was actually at a loss at what to do. After all, I walked randomly to get there. Of course, I didn't know the way back to our mansion. There were no lights in the forest, and I hadn't brought a flashlight. I realized it would be terrible if it got dark while we were still like this. She was too innocent. And apparently she couldn't understand at all how frightening it would be to face the night inside the forest. But I was the one who brought her outside. I had to take responsibility somehow and resolve this situation. So, I had a thought. Let's go out to the ocean for now. If we then follow the beach around, we should eventually make it back to the mansion. However, that was much more of a problem than I'd imagined. I didn't have a map or a compass. There was no way I could walk in a straight line through an uncultivated forest and immediately lost my sense of direction. I already had no clue which trail I had gone by, and was completely lost. At this rate, night would definitely fall before I had a clue where to walk. But this was no time to cry. After all, that woman following behind me was so innocent and having so much fun. So, I definitely had to lead the way through this forest. For the sake of her smile as well. Gritting my teeth so that she didn't see me looking troubled. I pushed my way through the woods, advancing down a path that wasn't a path. Then, after going through various troubles, I fortunately managed to reach the ocean. At that time, I still didn't even have a clue where I was on the island. But for the time being, I was just a little reassured, realizing that if I just went around this way, I would surely be able to return to the mansion. However, though I had reached the ocean, we were at the top of a rocky cliff. The beach was far below us. I was tired from walking around the forest for so long. And so I figured that an open area, even a rocky beach, would probably be much easier to walk in. So I suggested that we go down that rocky cliff somehow. It looked pretty dangerous, but I figured there was no other way. However, Beatrice agreed to my plan without any doubts. Even though she was probably older than me. She meekly obeyed, almost as though she were some kind of chick who thought I was her mother. I searched to see if there was some part of the cliff I'd be able to get down on. Then I found a place where the cliff had fallen over and made a slope. It looked a little dangerous. But if I went down using both hands and both legs like I was crawling, I thought it'd probably be okay.
Let's go down here. It'll be dangerous if we aren't careful. But if we go down to the beach and walk along it, I don't think we'll have to worry about being lost anymore.
Indeed.
If that's what you're doing,
I'll go too. Even getting lost is fun for me. Quite amusing. She really had no sense of danger. There was probably no doubt that she lived a life without discomfort. Even though she knew it would get dark when night fell. She couldn't imagine how dangerous the inside of a forest could be without a light. Furthermore, it seemed that she couldn't grasp at all how dangerous it might be if she fell from the cliff. I warned her repeatedly to be careful. I cautiously examined our potential route down. It seemed to be quite a long drop. I think it might have been about 10 meters down. If you looked at it from the bottom up, it would probably have looked shorter than the roof of the mansion. But looking from the top, it felt almost like staring down from the observation room on Tokyo Tower. But Beatrice still appeared to be completely without fear. It felt as though she had never been taught that high places were dangerous. No. Maybe she believed that she was a witch. And that she could fly. So there wasn't any need to worry.
please be careful. We're pretty high up.
Indeed. I shall be careful. It looks like we can get to the ocean if we go down.
Is there an aquarium there? No, there aren't any aquariums on this island. But there should be lots of fish in the sea.
I see. So there are fish. Are there,
whales and dolphins and penguins, like you talked about? No, you'd have to go to an aquarium for those. And you'd have to leave this island to find an aquarium.
Is that so? Well, I'm looking forward to it. What kind of fish are whales?
They're really big fish. Huh. Aren't they mammals? And they spit seawater into the air.
And dolphins?
They're really smart fish, and... Oh, weren't they also mammals? They're really smart, and can be taught tricks and stuff.
Then what about penguins?
Weren't they birds?
What's going on? We're talking about aquariums, but none of these things seem to be fish.
Well, there aren't just fish. It's full of all kinds of things that live in the ocean.
I really am looking forward to that. She let out what might have been a funny, rushed, and short cry. No, it was probably a scream. It came right out of the blue. Her body separated from the cliff and silently fell. I immediately wanted to say something to her. I wanted to say, didn't I tell you to be more careful? It was the thought of a child. It was how a child immediately gets mad when bad happens and tries to find excuse to show it wasn't their fault. Of course I said it out loud. Are you okay? Didn't I warn you over and over?
So, she fell from the cliff. And then what? What happened to her? Rosa?
Rosa fell silent. Her gaze dropped to her feet as though she were seeing through the floor into some disgusting memory.
She died, didn't she?
Ava's brutal words were the ones Rosa had most wanted to avoid. And when she hit them with... when she was hit with them, she screamed in resignation.
Ah! Yes, she's died. It was a rocky beach with lots of sharp, dangerous rocks exposed. Her eyes were still open, and an incredible amount of blood just kept pouring out, quickly spreading out until it looked like a red carpet. I spoke to her, I shook her, but she refused to respond and not even blink. No, she wouldn't even close her eyes. She wouldn't even close her eyelids. It was my fault. It was all my fault. She was wearing a dress, remember? Remember? Even though I knew her outfit was difficult to move in, I said we should go down the cliff. She was incredibly innocent, so she obeyed. Is what I said without any doubts. Sorry, I need a moment.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Man, that manga panel is brutal. Just her eyes are bulging out.
Yeah, they did not give a damn.
Fucking, well, like, what do you expect when she fell from that height on the fucking,
is a
what looks
visual
like
medium.
a
In a ball
cannon on
gown.
the back of her head? Like, holy shit. That's like...
I don't expect both
Man.
eyes.
That's
Your
rough.
dad right there.
I want to know specifically the manga artist turned those
No,
rocks
you
into
cannot fix
sharp...
that.
What?
What?
Anyways, I want to
on
make a
the
point. I wanted to
island.
point out about the panel is that, like, it wasn't just like just a rock. I want to note that the rock that she fell on specifically is fucking spiked, like fucking sharp.
Something out of Mortal Kombat or something.
I mean, did it actually read that there was a spike there?
No, it doesn't. It's just in the manga panel that I was talking about.
Oh, Robu said I can fix her, and her brain is like partially gone. I don't think you can fix that, man.
I was trying to explain that.
Robu, you can't fix.
Spoon.
You can't fix brain damage like that in depth.
Gotta get some scooping done. You
I
gotta,
mean, it'll make more than brain damage.
I mean, now hold on, run it back. You could fix it if you were an endless witch.
yeah, Yeah.
Damn.
Damn.
Just undie yourself. Come on.
I'm sorry.
Just no selling the Grim
Don't worry,
Reaper.
Con.
If
That's
she's an
why we're
inlet-
making the funny.
Well, no, I understand why, because despite our funnies, that is a very emotional scene.
Yeah, no, that shit's fun.
Legit fuck.
This particular chapter is very good.
Are we nearing the end of it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, they're good.
Okay, I'm good. Oh shit. I went on my notes.
How long do you plan on remaining dead? Open your eyes already. God, you're turning into a lump of meat all by yourself while I'm gone.
I was just fooling with your ass and 8chan, friends. More importantly, what the heck's going on here?
Well, as you can see, I missed my footing, fell down, and died.
What the hell? Even though you showed up as the 19th person, you were already dead? Don't mess with me. That's impossible! Amnose was a kid and she was panicked. Not like there was a doctor there. She probably just mistakenly thought you were dead. You were probably, alive and pretending to be dead or something. Isn't that right? Can't be true. She's gotta be alive. Otherwise, how can she be here? That kid-aged Aunt Rosa shook Beatrice's body, crying. Stared into that face too, but her eyes were still open. And it really was a corpse. I wanted to dodge the issue by saying something vague like, she must be playing dead. But no matter how I looked at it, it didn't look fake at all. It really did look like she was dead. Beatrice had fallen upside down from a cliff of that height, and I had it smashed against the pointed tip of those sharp rocks. You would die, wouldn't you, after landing on one of those rocks from that height? But I couldn't accept it. No matter how dead she looked, she had to be alive! She went on to become this damn irritating witch. I saw the inconsistencies fit. Grandfather must have kept her confined constantly in a hidden mansion. And to take revenge for that, she committed several atrocious murders! Aunt Rosa probably just mistakenly thought she was dead. She was actually alive, and as soon as Aunt Rosa left, would miraculously breathe again. And she somehow lived on until today and opened the curtain on a revenge drama. Otherwise, the facts don't fit together! I won't let you trick me so easily. Can you repeat it in red? That she's certainly dead. She has to be alive, right? It's obvious!
How does that look alive to you? It's definitely dead.
Ugh. If the 19th person was Grandfather's mistress, a human Beatrice had been defeated. I plan to strike back from a defensive position, but... Who are you? You just died, right? Tell me you revived yourself with magic.
I've already explained that, have I not? The me lying over there definitely possesses my soul. But that body's nothing more than a cage of flesh tying me to the physical world. This is how that cage of flesh was broken. Do you understand what that means?
I don't have a clue anymore. Keep having fun with your witch tricks, girl. Listen to that in place of a snack. What the? It's empty! Hey, can I get some more black tea?
Run away. Our guest would like some tea.
Beato clapped her hands, Ronave appeared. Well, they're sure convenient.
A reveal, you say? Certainly. How much should I pour you?
Well, I've got more than enough snacks. Half will be fine.
Even so, filling it to the brim is the English custom.
Even though just enough to wet my throat would have been fine. You filled it to the top. We're back to Beato, sipping in silence.
Hey, open your eyes. Beatrice!
Rosa shook me. No, shook the corpse that had once been me. I watched over her from a short distance away. So I fell from there and died. For a while I believed that was true. I saw Rosa spend a long time beside my corpse, then watched her as she ran away. Eventually, I realized I was a different individual from that corpse. That's right. I am me. So, I finally managed to escape from Kinzo's bonds. Eventually, I felt the memory returning. The fact that I was an endless witch who had lived for 1,000 years. Then I remembered that I had been summoned by Kinzo, and that I had been imprisoned by him for a long time. While being imprisoned in a cage of flesh, I completely lost my memory as a witch. However, thanks to Rosa, if you could say that, thanks to my accidental death, I'd now finally regained myself. Rosa, you probably regret bringing about my death, but I should be thanking you. I couldn't see Rosa anymore. Did she go to call a doctor, or was she so terrified that she ran away? It no longer matters. That soulless shell no longer has any value. And yet, I'm so frail now. Even this glorious midday sun is agony to me. I destroyed my human form. Then I changed it into several golden butterflies. Yes, with my magical power as frail as it is now, this form is easier to maintain. To escape even a little of the sun, I rode the wind and gently flew up the side of the cliff. It will probably be a bit cooler in the forest. Anyway, I'll take some time to recuperate and regain my former power. As I ponder how to make Kinzo pay up all he owes me. Dancing alone through the air, I looked down at the shore one more time. On the rocky shore lay the figure of what once had been me, the figure I would eventually regain. To regain the form of a physical body I'd thrown away, it would probably take more than 100, 200 days. And it might require 1,000 days, or perhaps even more. However, I am the Endless Witch. The Golden Witch who has lived for 1,000 years. Waiting any countable number of days would be no problem. Oh, Kinzo. Regret that you are not here now. No longer will you be able to capture me.
And then you changed into gold butterflies, hid in the forest, and waited for your magical power to be restored. Is that what you're saying?
That is correct. I take this form to sneer at you, but most of the time it is easier magically for me to keep my form as golden butterflies.
And feel free to take a load off and stick to whatever's easiest. I wouldn't mind not having to hear your irritating laugh.
Well, fuck you too. When I turned into butterflies and slipped into the forest, it was already no longer possible for Kinzo to find me. However, Kinzo was not dismayed. Still, he was not immediately able to prepare a way to catch me. So he first moved to prevent me from leaving this island. And to keep me from regaining my power. My. At any rate, Kinzo's spitefulness was unimaginable. It was pretty tough to be loved by someone like that.
He found a way to keep you from leaving after you turned into butterflies? What, did he put a bug net around the entire forest?
Indeed. A magical one. Didn't you know? On the sea in front of the harbor is a reef, upon which sits a small shrine of Eastern magic.
Ah, that. It was gone by this year, though. It was a small shrine built long ago by a Shugenja, right?
Shugenja.
From the very beginning, Rokenjima has been an island enveloped by a distortion. It attracts things of magical power and other related creatures. Melody herself is one of them. How about some more tea?
Please. They brought harm to humans and probably left several eerie legends in their wake. That small shrine was built in ancient times by an Eastern magician who heard of them. A long time passed and that power was lost. Simple as that. By repairing it, Kinzo restored this island's barrier and once again bound me to the island. Motherfucker.
Needs to magic work on a Western witch like you?
Normally the affinity would be poor.
Wait, what?
However, for the purpose of sealing me there, it may have been quite convenient in a way. If it was Western magic, I would have had some knowledge. For any barrier, there would have been some measures that I could have taken. But Eastern magic is outside my area of expertise. It was as if I had been given chopsticks instead of a spoon for some soup that I wanted to drink.
Well, we know Zaz doesn't want her now.
In a space dominated by Eastern magic, Western magic loses much of its power. Even if she were given 1,000 days to regain her strength, she would have to wait many, many more.
They're saying it took you 20 years to regain your power. Now you're revived, as we can all see.
Those were horribly long years. I spent many days in the form of golden butterflies, found Kinzo's mansion, and watched over him every day. I lived through those days with no means to enjoy myself except to ponder how I would get back at him. That period of 20 years was fortunate for me. Kinzo tried to use all sorts of magic to find and capture me, but each failed. There's a limit to how many miracles a single human can bring about. Even simply holding me captive for that long had been a miracle far above his place.
One second, sorry, I'm taking notes.
It would be unthinkable for me to be captured like that multiple times.
Grandfather said something in the previous game. There's something like magic lies in a miracle of probability.
Indeed. As Kinzo was searching for a hidden art to capture me again, he stumbled upon that. Then he finally worked out the ceremony involving the offerings of 13 people as sacrifices to revive me again.
13 people. As sacrifices.
That is the witch's epitaph. A song of sacrifices. 6 people on the first twilight. 2 people on the second. Then 5 more people on the 4th through the 8th twilight. A forbidden ceremony, involving the offering of a total 13 people as sacrifices. Those sacrifices were to be chosen randomly, and the one who held the ceremony, Kinzo himself, was no exception.
Dumbass. They're saying that all the gruesome murders on this island were a weird ceremony? I had a vague idea that it might be the case. I just couldn't hear that this is true from a witch and a demon and say, "Oh, really?" and accept it.
There are 18 people on Rokenjima. 13 are offered as sacrifices, 5 are left alive. Then I revive. In other words, the odds that Kinzo will be able to meet me again are probably around 1 in 3. He bet his own life on those odds, wishing for a reunion with me for the last bit of his remaining life. It's sort of ironic and funny when you think about it.
You're saying gathered our family for the sake of that joke of a ceremony? Don't fuck with me! Don't say stuff like that, damn it!
It was all set out in our contract from the beginning. When Kinzo's life ended, all the gold I lent him and all of the assets he created would be given to me. Yes, Kinzo did stab me in the back quite brutally. But looking back now, it was a rare and precious time during my 1,000 years of life. After all, boredom is my natural enemy. To Kinzo, offered me a chance to run away from that for several decades. Yes, you could say I owe him for that. I decided to go along with Kinzo's game. So, to the start, Kinzo returns the Yoshimiya head family's ring to me. It was my goal to revive the family, after all. Then 13 people are chosen at random to be sacrifices. No more, no less. While that happens, you all run about, showing me all kinds of human interactions as you try to oppose me and entertain me greatly. Yes, I truly have taken a liking to this game of Kinzo.
I definitely won't believe in that kind of magic story. Who are you? You fell off a cliff and died, damn it! Your soul slipped out, became butterflies, and went off to the forest? That's all a load of bullshit! But you're here. Who are you? Are you the 19th person?
That is true. I am the 19th person. But it's useless, right? Isn't it? It's all useless! There are no more than 18 humans on this Rokkenjima.
What did you say? So you're saying that the X in the 18 plus X doesn't exist? In the piece I took, the X doesn't exist!
That is what this means. My condolences. Still, you do move fast, milady. And I thought you'd let him flounder about before spinning everything around at the end. Well then, Bella-sama. Would some more tea be agreeable?
I don't need it. Damn it! I don't believe it! The culprit can't be one of the 18. Then what are you? And why are you here? 19th person doesn't exist. Then are you saying that you're one of the 18 in disguise?
Perhaps you are castling. Though reluctantly, you are doubting one of the 18 people as your last way out. However, it will be difficult for me from here on out. If you choose to stop caring about propriety, you could prepare a culprit freely amid 18 people. Making you reach checkmate by evading those 18 pieces will be truly difficult.
As if I'd do that! I don't suspect any of the 18. I don't want to suspect people. I've really become cornered again. Damn it, damn it, damn it!
It looks like we're finally approaching the end in the third round of this game of ours. You've nowhere to run anymore, right? You don't want to suspect any of those people in the 18, do you? Were you trying to hide that from me? Then why do you refuse me? They say you should play the opening like a book, the middle game like a magician, and the end game like a machine. I'll corner you from here on. Slowly, carefully, surely. Or, on the other hand, would it be better if I pressed you all at once, which might suit your style more? Yes, that should fit you well. Let's do that. I'm now fully aware of the sorts of attacks you're weakest against.
Is that where we're stopping today?
That is, in fact, where we're stopping today.
Okay, good.
It's already starting to be scratchy. That was Kino.
Very good. Nobody uses the homunculus in the right way. Huh.
Nope.
Yeah, I know what a homunculus is.
It's a tiny human.
Yes, it lives in our brain and in.
I don't know about that part.
I will figure the fuck out Ronave's voice by next time, I swear.
Just keep it with the French one, yes.
Maybe.
I was gonna defend the one that had a little bit of a Spanish to it.
I can't control it. I don't know how to do that, but I'll try to pin it down more.
So for those of you
I won't lie. As much as I was hyped for Ronave, he was probably my least practiced role because I just, unfortunately, this week I had zero time to fucking practice any voices because there were a bunch of dudes working in my backyard where my fucking room is directly next to.
Oh. Okay,
Huh,
that's
and-
actually pretty fair to not. That's pretty fair, actually.
So
Yeah.
obviously we're
Yoink.
about to enter into our little posted thing. Hey,
Mhm.
if you enjoyed our funny little reading session, you want more, follow, subscribe, YouTube, Twitter, our Discord. Maybe
We
not
should-
my Twitter because there's spoilers.
We should probably make the announcement that instead of uploading on Wednesday and Fridays, we're going to be switching it to Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Oh, news to me.
Wait, what? What did you say?
We are going to be uploading the edited sessions via Wednesday and Saturday.
No. We're still keeping up with this schedule because we want to fucking barrel through Umineko.
The edited.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Edited content.
Edited content will come out on Wednesday and Saturday.
Don't overdo yourself, Joshy. Okay?
That's why we're pushing out a little bit.
It's fine. If anything, I'll just if it really gets bad, I have a failsafe that I can bring up with Orange.
But yeah, more cool people would be really poggers. All right, so starting from 12:17, so until 12:47. You will.
I mean, like, I feel like we can give them like 15 more minutes. I feel like a lot happened.
I guess. All right. Until 1 o'clock.
I actually have some stuff to go with.
Alright.
Take it away.
Alright, so, this is actually just something I kind of want to bring back. She mentioned something about her soul being affected by solar wind. What did she say at that part again? I just want a quick refresher.
I thought it was honestly just her soul was so light that it literally just floated on the wind. It wasn't solar stuff.
Anyway,
the heat of the sun just burned her.
Anyway, that's not the important part. I was just going through notes and I saw that. Anyway, I have a theory that the White Beetle might be Golden Beetle's mother or a servant that was
You mean the silver-haired woman from the start of the chapter?
Yes, I think it might either be her mother or a servant, and her goal was to make Beato think that she was a witch. I think that is a possibility, because it seems weird that so there's two Beatrices, and it seems very clear that the Beatrice we know is the child from the beginning of the chapter, and I'm wondering if if the father was Kinzo. The father was like, oh no, I broke the vase. Father will be mad. I'm wondering if that was supposed to be Kinzo. And I don't know. I feel like if Beatrice's soul, like the 1,000-year witch, like I assume that was also the 1,000-year witch, the white one. So I think that it might. Man, it's hard to word my words here. I feel weird that the soul wouldn't look like her.
You ever understand how homunculus work? Because sometimes fiction can be wiggy on that. Maybe he just actually made a perfect clone baby of her, and that's basically what that means.
I don't know if cloning was that good in 1967.
Homunculus alchemy.
I don't think magic was involved.
So
I'm
you
not.
do not think
I'm going
magic
with the. I'm going with the. I'm making non-magic theories here.
Okay.
Alright.
It's like I think that could have just been a child. That Beatrice was just a child that was brought up to believe that she was a witch.
That is something.
Child thought to believe she
I
is
still feel like the magical explanation to me makes a little more valid sense.
Well, I mean, we're trying to debunk the magic, I imagine. At least I am.
I, however, will have to go ahead and agree with the magic explanation. I do see yours as a possibility. Because it does answer one question on who the white-haired Beatrice was. Of course, now that I'm thinking about it, and this is just speculation, what if that was Beatrice's original form and she now retains this form because that was her homunculi?
Well, that's kind of what I was bringing up. Like, if that's supposed to be the soul of Beatrice, then... Well, actually, would that even make sense? Because they talk to each other. They were two separate people at that point.
We don't know if the young girl was Beatrice.
We don't, but it...
Our Beatrice, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it seemed pretty likely.
Because the girl had no name attached to her. Could have been anyone.
She was just called Little Princess. Which is kind of common in Japan to call someone of a major family who's mostly an... Especially if they're a little girl.
I mean, like, I feel like saying, like, oh, little princess, I feel like that's, like, a common thing, like, literally everywhere on the globe.
Yeah,
like,
we see that all the time.
Richard
yeah. Like,
Like, if they called him the Hime, that means they're the heir. Or just... It's both endearing and hierarchical.
I mean, I've seen my aunt call her daughter a little princess one time.
It's just...
So.
I mean, I don't really think that her title is really important to the plot, but, like, also, the Golden Witch said that that was her memory. I mean, granted, it might have been not true, but I'm going to assume it is Beatrice as a younger kid.
I think we can stick a pin in this and say that there are multiple theories going on, but we don't have enough string to
actually,
connect everything.
Would it make sense? Because I feel like if she was raised to be a witch, or at least think she's a witch, then, well, no, she already knew about the witch Beatrice. Like, she met Beatrice and clearly knew her for a while. What if the white-haired Beatrice, like, assuming that magic exists, was the actual original Beatrice, and this golden...
That's what I was postulating.
And this golden witch one isn't actually magic at all.
So you're saying she's an imposter?
Yeah.
Roboot, don't.
You know, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, it's possible
also,
that
imposter doesn't seem like the right word to use.
Pretender, I guess.
No.
Also, something I noticed is that the tea party room, it seems a lot like this mansion. Like, it seems to look very similar.
Like the gazebo and everything.
Yeah, I feel like it's either the mansion itself, or it is going with the magic theory that it's an alternate dimension version of the mansion.
I'd subscribe to that theory.
Because there's also the theory that the white Beatrice is the only magical being in this entire thing. Similar with Higurashi. Oh man, I probably shouldn't mention Higurashi, I guess, but yeah.
I'm also sorry for my outburst because think of it like this. Kinzo literally took her soul, placed it in a sort of homunculus body,
Babu.
kept it that way, and allowed this Beatrice to get to the point where he could go ahead and keep wooing her. That raises a lot of questions for me.
Yeah, that kind of seems like an evil person in another series.
Seems like he might be grooming.
Some of those answers I'm getting are not great. Like, they physically made me ill. Kind of making me feel a bit sick right now.
Yeah.
And normally I've got a really strong stomach. Not to mention, we also got a bit of confirmation. Kinzo was the one who repaired the shrine, so Beatrice, even if this did happen, which he planned for, apparently, that's fucking me up. Means he actually knew that something like this may have happened on a whim and had the shrine repaired, so she couldn't even leave even if she wanted to.
Yeah, it kind of seems like he had backup plans, except for one crucial thing. He made that one deal.
I mean, I can see him going, oh, I mean, if she dies, then the cage is gone, so I better have this backup.
Yeah.
I can see him being prepared for that.
There's being obsessed, there's being completely
devoted.
And then there's whatever the hell Kinzo is. I don't even have a word for this.
I feel like she might...
No, this isn't
worship would be some type of weird worship, I would say.
I want to know the white Beatos.
Maybe something like worship, but a little more extreme.
I want to know the white Beatos
Silent Hill?
relation to Kinzo.
This actually reminds me of Silent Hill a little bit about the whole baby thing.
Something I keep going back to is Beatrice saying that she is 1,000 years old. And I want to know, is that in repeated time? Did she straight up live 1,000 years ago in the past? That seems unlikely. So I'm wondering, how is she 1,000 years old, but it seems like she's from, I don't know, 1800s, early 1900s Europe.
I think it may be repeated time.
Okay, but why was she repeating time for 1,000 years?
That I honestly can't answer. Any ideas?
Well, that's the idea of maybe this is just a Beato that thinks that she has the soul of the other Beatrice.
But yet she basically keeps on preferring the other Beatrice as her mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it could be that maybe it's her mom that was an actual witch.
Then this just raises even further questions.
Or maybe she wasn't a witch at all. Maybe it was a servant that that was.
I'm still gonna subscribe to my. I'm also putting my other theory that I had back on the table, that there was indeed, and I may or may not have called this, another Beatrice, and this Beatrice is the result of that. Of some kind of fucking or mind fuckery or some alchemic fucking, some form of fucking.
We're not for sure how she exactly was born, but it's either creepy nonetheless, either from alchemy or the other way. We can't really mention.
I'm curious if you think that magic exists in this, or that it doesn't, or if you think it's a hybrid.
It depends, but I'm in the theory in the middle.
Okay, so you think that there is a bit of magic in the story?
And
yes.
a little dose of reality.
Because, I think that it's again, I've subscribed to the idea that everything can have a is going to have a non-magical answer, even if it is magic.
I mean, if there's a little bit of magic, then there's magic. And if there's no magic, there's no magic.
I mean, the events. I think it can be solved with two answers, but we're trying to find the one without the magic.
Speaking of answers, we even got a couple different red truths. One is that the mansion Kuwadorian actually does exist on Rokenjima.
I was wondering about that because that did actually prove a point that this island is huger than most people assume. And
I mean, I assumed it's pretty big.
Yeah, but yeah, most people thought it was just smaller by having like two buildings, but it's large enough to have at least three separate buildings that no one knows about the third one.
I kind of assumed it was the size of a small Polynesian island, maybe the smallest island of Hawaii.
Ow! No, but we were also given a red truth at the time that this took place, along with her exchange with Kinzo and her meeting Rosa, was in 1967.
About 20 years ago in that time frame.
Exactly. So there's an unaccounted 10-year period that we're missing here. Because if you'll recall, Kinzo's main family didn't move on there until about 30 years ago. Also, I find it a little hard to believe that even with all the hidden forest history, somehow not even the servants had bothered to go ahead and go that far.
Could be that they're actually given a contract to not tell anyone about it, or he only hired certain people for that particular mansion.
It may be the second option.
Well, he does have a lot of servants that we don't know of, that supposedly we don't even know right now.
Just as was stated earlier in this chapter, just because there's not a person there doesn't mean you can't say they can't exist. It's a bit of a devil's proof, but as we've also postulated before, you can use Hempel's Raven to turn that around.
True. But that red truth about only 18 human beings on this Rokenjima is kind of, Yeah, the key word is this.
Meaning, that's probably only inclined to this certain event or time loop of Rokenjima. Meaning that for right now, there's only 18 humans. That being said, it could be possible that the prior ones only didn't have a...
What do you think if maybe there is a 19th person, but they are technically not on Rokenjima? Like, they are in the water, like on a boat or something, or...
Then they'd probably be dead in the typhoon.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No one knows what happened to the body of Beatrice after she died. Supposedly it might have just, but I think she might have been unfortunately been recovered somehow. That's why my theory is after her death in that island.
Dude,
Okay, recovered then what?
Dude, 10 meters is 30 feet, and she landed on some sharp spike rocks. You
I
land
mean-
on your head on some sharp
I meant
spike
her
rocks.
body. I'm literally saying that they could have buried her on the island somewhere in that case.
Wait, Crimson, I'm just wondering, like, so what does that mean? Like, what is the point
I
of this?
don't know the fear that I'm going on that they might that Kenzo might have recovered her body after the body's death.
I mean, sure, but what does, like, how would anybody benefit from that?
It's on a back burner for a particular reason.
I hate to disagree, but how would Kenzo exactly go along that path and find her body? Plus, he doesn't seem exactly the kind of person to actually bury the dead.
I mean, like, I'm just wondering, like, because regardless of if it got eaten by dogs or it got turned into butterflies, the story stays the same.
I'm still thinking that there might be something in this concept of that, but
Alright, fair
I'll hold it
enough.
off for now.
Out mentally after we just got the introduction of Goatmen and Saber Arms cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, once the story started to turn Fate Stay Night, I kind of just checked out mentally and just said, "Woo! All aboard the Mystery Express!"
I'm drowning. I'm literally drowning.
Wait, what?
No, it's a quote. Don't look into it.
Oh, is that a spoiler?
No, not a spoiler. It's a fake quote.
I'm looking this up.
It's a fake. I'm literally drowning. Yeah, but yeah, enough of that. Back on topic.
Yeah, it's a Fate Stay Night. I'm also finding it really interesting that Kenzo told the same lies on both sides, and both of his kids, and his kids and Beatrice all believed him. Fuck.
Yeah.
Also, seeing how that legend came about of Beatrice in the forest. Just because one of his kids started to go ahead and believe that the wolves could be tamed.
Yeah, to be fair, most children like wolves.
Yeah, that is fair, actually.
Yeah, he probably had to change it up because of that.
It also shows dude's kind of an idiot.
Yeah, he is, kind of.
Ugh. Something else I think we can also address. Beatrice said that Eastern magic is completely foreign to her. And that if it was Western magic, she could have easily found a counterattack. Or at least known a bit more about it.
So there's different type of magic from different parts of the world.
Mm-hmm. So there's a clear-cut difference between Eastern and Western magic.
I would say there's others, but we're focusing on those two for right now.
Mm-hmm. Which would mean spells that you'd probably acquire in Europe would be foreign to any spells that you'd know in Japan. Same would go with good luck charms and other things. Although it looks like there are some universal constants.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Like the mirrors. That's a constant. What's even more interesting is the fact that Kenzo spent all of these and tried to acquire more dark arts studying so he could try and recapture Beatrice. Talk about tunnel vision.
True. Also, because of that deal he had with Beatrice, when he knew he was gonna die, he said, "Fuck it, I'll just do this now."
So then he decided, if I'm going to die, and she takes everything, why don't I catch her so I can become immortal and never die? Oh no, wait, no, not not immortal, but at least if he catches her before then and keeps her somewhere, then when he dies, she can't enact. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, harebrained schemes that didn't work.
Literally keep her in a cage so that way she doesn't do anything after he's dead, so the wealth and Yushiro family live on. I think there's a specific word for that. Help me out with this. What's a specific word for that level of... What is it? Is it petty?
Diluted. Diluted is the word.
Thank you. Diluted. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Rosa basically got mentally screwed up because of this incident.
Oh yeah, this actually explains a lot more of her behavior now.
Yeah, like, it was really fucked up whenever it said Rosa then tried scooping Beatrice's brains back into her skull.
Yeah, I think we're all better off with that image in our brains.
I mean, I looked at that manga panel, it's pretty graphic. I mean, it didn't show that, but I now imagine it.
So anyway, probably because of that trauma and the fact that she basically left a dead person in the ocean that no one knows what happened to it.
Oh, alongside the ocean. Is that a Funyaripa orange?
Yes, that is the Funyarimpa. I'm shit posting while you guys are talking about stuff.
Okay, so anyway, get back on track. So basically basically because of the whole incident, that she probably got more paranoid about people in general and probably can't have a stable relationship with anyone around her, including her child. Because PTSD can actually do that to people.
Yeah. That would also explain her anger outbursts. And given it's not just her upbringing, but this definitely explains not only just her anger, but the idea of how she really does just isolate herself. So you're right. This really did mold Rosa. And I hate to use this metaphor, but it literally planted a rose seed on spoiled soil.
Also, the whole concept of witch basically makes her angry and makes her lash out at her daughter that likes witches.
You know, I did not make that comparison, or that connection.
And that's because she accidentally got her killed. Oh god, that makes it even worse.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense with some people when you kind of go, what is the trigger?
Every time she sees Maria doing stuff involving witches, she's getting a daily reminder of that. Oh, fuck.
And then she's like, I'm gonna bash your head off like Beatrice. Against those rocks.
That's a little too much, Bone, but...
I'm sorry, it was in my head.
She wouldn't obviously go ahead and do that. It would just fill her with the panic and anxiety of then, and she'd actually just physically and mentally lash out. Because it's the 1960s.
Yeah, mental health was not great.
PTSD wasn't even known as PTSD by then. It was just known as shell shock.
Yeah,
now during war.
Yeah, it didn't really actually become a thing until like around the Gulf War.
Yep, and that was only after people realized that people who came back, mostly from Vietnam, were having severe reactions.
Apparently PTSD was coined in 1980, it seems.
Exactly.
Or at least that's when it was added to the 3rd edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. So I assume that it was like known of before then.
It was only by then known as a militaristic diagnosis, if I remember correctly.
True, and also other countries probably didn't adopt it until later.
Mm-hmm. And even then, you had to go through rigorous points, and most people didn't even believe if it was PTSD in the first place.
Yeah, they just said use a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
My memory is on that is a little foggy.
People got shot because the general said use a bitch. Don't run.
Okay, so after we explained that with Rosa, other things kind of molded into Kinzo's mindset after the whole death of the shell of the body.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if it focused on Kinzo that much.
No, but there is signs of him
That's
having his.
method to his madness that does make his actions make more sense. Unfortunately.
Probably after that incident, he went like, "Ah, shit! I gotta start doing things now," and started to become more inclusive into his own little study room.
So I had an idea. So even after Beatrice's death, it seems like he still went on his like walks, his disappearances. I think, unless I'm misremembering. So I wonder what he was doing whenever he would go over to the other mansion. Like, there are guesses we can make, but I still wonder.
Probably doing some dark arts.
Yeah, like I'm wondering if he turned the place into just a grieving place, if he let it fall into disrepair. Well, I don't know. I feel like he would not let it fall into disrepair. If he,
We never seen the mansion after the pass point, so we don't even know what it looks
this is the
like.
first time we're really even seeing it.
That too.
Fair. He could still keep servants there. Maybe some of the characters that we actually are supposed to see later on are actually at that mansion.
Well, right now there's only 18 people on Rokenjima.
True.
On this Rokenjima, which means
Yep.
we may not see anyone right now, but next time we could possibly. It's fun to speculate, especially when you're coming off of all this stuff. It's like springboarding in a writing competition.
Springboarding?
You use ideas that other people use to make your stories or game development from.
Ah, steal.
No, that's actually what game jams are, basically.
Yeah.
God, my throat's going ding-dang wiggle-lang.
What happened?
Voice acting!
Yeah, it's a noted hazard, like heat stroke.
Like heat stroke?
Heated room panels because they can't have air conditioning, destroying the noise quality.
Oh.
Well, that, and after I do certain voices for a while, my throat just kind of turns to gravel.
Anyway, anything else?
Nothing else that I could possibly think of.
We explained Rosa. We explained the body of Beatrice. We explained the whole concept of the hidden mansion and some of the weird little rules about Rovia's concept of red text speech.
Have we seen any magic we haven't talked about yet that I should possibly try to think of a way around?
Another thing. We got a little characterization for Lucifer.
Yep.
I think that was just a cute moment.
Eh.
I don't think there was anything important about that.
Still funny that Battler calls them ass Nechan.
Well, I mean,
he's doing what he can.
Look, he's
got to take what he can get, in the words of Joshi.
He's got to make the best out of a bad situation.
Can you answer a translation question for me? It's not spoiler. I have a question. What does Battler call them in the Japanese version? Because if it's ass Nesans as Nechans here in English, then what is it in Japanese?
I have no idea.
Probably the equivalent of like an ass.
It's literally the exact same.
Aw.
No,
I was hoping he would actually call them something a little more vulgar.
Is there anything else you want clarification?
Probably says like tits in Nichan.
Probably something we can't explain right now.
Except maybe just, this is off topic and everything, but what the hell did you post on the stream and why did Zaz go ahead and post it up in here? What am I looking at exactly?
Oh, that's
It's 999.
Well, no, okay, here's the actual thing. You know what, here, we're gonna, like, since we're kind of done talking, I'm gonna pose an interesting question to you guys. So, the image in question. What is it? What do you think it is?
It looks like a bunch of pieces of a puzzle that have just been scattered.
Here, how about you give her a multiple choice question?
Alright. Hold on a second. Hold on just a second.
Yep.
I don't quite. I was trying to find like the actual multiple choice questions that was used in the game. But do you? Well, no, like
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
I think actively presenting it to you as is fairly simple. what you think it looks like. This is like completely up to your interpretation, by the way. I'll tell you the answer once you're done. It could be anything. It could be an animal. It could be like a piece of furniture or whatever. What do you think it is?
I'm looking up the video scene so I can give up multiple choice thing.
Altogether? Or with minor pictures inside of it?
Just like as one whole image, what do you think it looks like?
Here, I found the thing. Alright. Is it a man's face, a butterfly, a koi, a dog, a small boat floating in a lake, or a funyorimpa? You don't have to say funyorimpa, don't worry about that one. Here, I'll also write it down.
Also, this is to anybody if you want to take a stab as to who it is. If you don't know, you don't know.
It certainly looks unique, I'll give it that.
It's two bears high-fiving. Oops, I spoiled it.
Oh, I saw it at the dragon fucking a car.
Oh, yeah, anyway, there, okay, again, I put it in the Discord chat. I'll also throw up in the Twitch chat.
You have a few more minutes before I will ask you for an answer.
No. That, no, it. Oh.
If you want, I can remove one of the answers. Yes, we are still streaming. We're doing this for goofs.
Okay, sorry.
Would you like us to remove?
I'm tilting my head just to see what I'm looking at here.
You have 2 more minutes.
Hmm.
Also, anybody else can attempt to answer this if you don't know. I suppose I'm pretty sure the majority of the people here do know. I think it might literally just be Khan.
Noir, do you know what that is? Oh, you play 999.
He's watching a Let's Play of 999. He's gotten to this point in the game.
Would you like us to remove an answer, Khan?
One minute to answer.
Oh, please don't do the full thing.
I have 999 music playing. Please just let it go.
Think that's a dog.
Final answer?
Oh man, I'm glad that thing I posted wasn't a GIF.
I see one in the center, but...
Are you saying a dog is your final answer is what I'm asking?
I think so.
Well... Oh god damn it, the GIF hasn't played.
Yeah,
I'll just put up the answer on stream because it shows you it.
There we are.
So I was right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, it's a dog. Hold on.
Because it's using negative and positive space.
Yeah. I posted the image of the actual image.
That's why I was trying to tilt my head so much.
Yeah, like it's an actual image of a dog.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put up the actual image, Orange?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a second.
Yeah. If you take a closer look at it and tilt your head, some of the shapes don't add up. It can't be a boat because it's too much of a wide space.
The thing is, Con, you're wrong. It's a funyorimpa.
No, it is a dog. That was a joke in the 99.
No, it's a funyorimpa.
Funyorimpa is a funny joke.
How dare you not say it's a funyorimpa? Apologize to funyorimpa.
That was part of the joke.
Regardless, okay, this was a fun tangent, but we're going to We're gonna wrap
Sorry.
up for now because we don't have much else to talk about. No, you're fine. This is just like a funny little like extra bonus tangent thing. Probably won't even make it.
I posted the Funyarimpa part of 999. Wait, there might be spoilers in that though. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
you might wanna.
To be fair, this episode is basically the backstory of, yes, there was a mansion, yes, Beto was technically alive, she died, and Rosa got mentally fucked over it, and Balor's having a midlife crisis right now.
I wouldn't say midlife.
I'd say it's more of an existential.
Fair enough.
We are done here. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Alright, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
Funyarimpa.